So Friday, the season finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier dropped on Disney Plus, and I got pretty good things to say about it. Hey everyone, SW Nation here, and welcome back to a brand new Marvel video here in the channel. Today I would like to stop and take the time to review Falcon and the Winter Soldier as a season overall. Yes, this review is pretty late, mainly because yesterday was my birthday, if many of you guys didn't know. But how we do these season finales is going to be an episode breakdown in the beginning, and the review of the entire season will be on the time code that you see on your screen right now. So like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter that's going to pop up on your screen right now. And without further ado, let's just move right into our review. So basically, we kick off the episode with Carly activating the plan. You know, we have hostages inside of the building. And then we get thrusted right into the action. Sharon joins in, everything like that. Bucky is already in full gear mode. We already see that Falcon and Bucky are working together in New York. Falcon is on his way there to the building with the hostages. So, you know, everything is going accordingly. We're just thrusted right into the action. And to me, I feel like that was kind of a good choice. You know, we really didn't need to ease into it. But one thing was that last week's episode really didn't do a lot much setup to get to this point, because they've said a couple things like, okay, we're going to get these hostages and stuff like that. But at the same time, it didn't really set up, like last week's episode didn't really set up the big action scene with the hostages in the building and stuff like that. That episode was mostly focused on Bucky and Sam, which I did like, but going into this episode, that just felt like it really didn't need to be there. But then we go into a building, we see Batroc is there and everything like that. Falcon appears with a shiny new suit, calling himself Captain America. To me, I thought that him calling himself Captain America, yeah, that's cute. Or whatever, that's cute. I always think that Steve Rogers is Captain America is Steve Rogers is Captain America. And what this show proved is that no one can top Steve Rogers. No one can be Captain America. And when Falcon called himself Captain America, I was like, I like the way you guys did it. I'm okay with it. I will accept it. But I still wish that he was his own name. I still wish that he was his own character instead of being Captain America. But he goes in, fight Batroc. And one thing that I really like about this series is that Falcon fighting Batroc, not even Cap, like Cap bested Batroc, obviously, but Cap had a struggle fighting Batroc. I like the fact that Falcon just doesn't call himself Captain America and just puts on the suit and he's automatically able to defeat Batroc. No, Batroc bests him twice inside of this series, which I'm okay with, because you know, it gives a lot more verisimilitude to it. No one can be Steve Rogers. No one can be Captain America like Steve Rogers was. And when Sam puts on the Captain America mantle, or if he just puts on a Captain America suit, that doesn't mean that he could automatically defeat Batroc the Leaper. So I like that aspect a lot. We also get like a nice little call between Carly and Bucky. And this is where I started thinking that Carly was like, okay, you honestly just do not get any character. You do not know any character inside of the show as you think you do. Because she starts going on and on about you've never had to go into a fight like this or something like that. And I'm like, Bucky literally he went into World War II to fight for this country. He was an assassin for 70 plus years, but then when he got off of that brainwashing, he fought for the Earth twice. So, you know, Carly inside of this series, she started off really strong, but then it was just that one thing inside of episode 3 that just made me not like Carly anymore. You guys can go over there to the regular podcast and hear everything that we have about these episodes, because Carly was just not really the best to me. Also, Sharon gets in on the action. I like the fact that she kind of melts a guy's face off, which is kind of cool. Like, I always thought that was kind of cool. Falcon flies after a helicopter, and it's actually a really great aerial fight sequence. It's very simulating the first episode, which I really did like. It's set at night. And also Falcon has the vibranium wings, and he also has the Captain America shield. So he's doing cool things with that. Carly becomes really evil because she's telling the Flash Masters to kill the hostages. And I'm like, you want to fight for something. You want to fight for this cause, but then you don't know how you don't know how to fight for it. Because in every episode, it's always, we got to kill the hostages. We got to kill them. We got to kill them. This is the only language they understand. But you want me to feel sympathy for you. Again, not good. Not good. So basically, John Walker arrives to kill Carly. He has the metal shield that he made in the last episode, and I really like this entire sequence with him fighting Carly. When Carly got the best of him, I really thought that John was gonna die, but then I'm like, nah, they can't just kill off John like this. Like, he was such a great character. I love his arc throughout this entire series, but I love the fact that when they gave him a redemption arc, they gave it to him because he was given a choice to either go after Carly or save the bus full of hostages. And Bucky was underneath the bus as well. I'm pretty sure Bucky probably was going to be able to catch it, but then again, his hands probably went through the glass, or would have went through the glass, I should say. So I love the fact that they gave John a choice. Either he lets Carly go and not kill her out of revenge and out of vengeance, or he does the right thing to save the people. And one thing that made me clap really hard was when I saw him throw that shield over, and all we see is the shield landing right in front of Bucky, and John saves the bus full of people. I loved that moment. It was great. Like, him saving those hostages was just a full. It felt like a full arc of his character, because it's still a level of I'm Captain America inside of him, and I love that aspect. The Flag Smashers, they go over there and try to sabotage John saving the bus full of people. So then John falls off the ledge, goes down there with Bucky, and as the bus is about to fall, we see Captain America, air quotation marks, save it from falling with everyone cheering. And I like the community aspect about it. Like, people are watching, they're like one person says, "That's Black Falcon right there," and then another guy says, "No, that's Captain America." I love that line, and it speaks true to kind of like the message of the entire show. Like, we need a Black Captain America at this point. You know how culturally and socially that would do. I think that actually works, and I love everything that they did inside of that theme of we need a Captain America, or the community needs to see that people that looks like them can be Captain America. And I also like the line that Sam said to Carly about trying something different. Maybe you should too. Because throughout this entire series, he didn't want to take the shield, and at the end he does take the shield. He tries something different. I think it speaks true to a lot of people. After that, the Flag Smashers, they fight with Sam and John and Bucky, and then some of them get away. So then Carly comes face to face with Sharon, who is now the power broker. And Sharon being the power broker was kind of predictable. At the same time, it was a bad theory, but it was very clear that she was the power broker. I mean, she's in Madripoor. She has satellite drones. She gets Batroc to kill Falcon twice. What is going on with Sharon? Like, what the heck is going on with Sharon? So then Sam goes there. He sees Sharon and Carly, and then Batroc. I think Batroc dies, and then Sam basically is trying to defend himself from Carly as Carly is trying to kill him. So, like, she just keeps trying to punch the shield, and she's just trying to kill Sam, but Sam just would not fight back because he does believe in their fight, but he just does not like the way that they're fighting it, and he wants to help Carly. So then Carly is just being so aggressive, and Sharon gets up and shoots Carly, I think, in the back, and yeah, Carly dies. Yep, Sharon kills Carly. So it's clear that Carly and Sharon had a little bit of history there, and I like that. I mean, obviously, Sharon lived up to what she said she was going to do. She texts Carly in the second episode and said, "I am going to kill you." What did she do? She killed her. And I like that. That was kind of cool. Bucky and John, they catch up with the other Flag Smashers, and then they send them onto the raft. So after the fight, there's just like this gorgeous shot of Sam now holding Carly, a dead Carly, in his hands as the Falcon wings are expanded, and he's slowly falling down onto the street full of the paramedics. And then he confronts the government and uses his gift of communicating to the people to see the bigger picture, and I really did like that. In turn, he does what he does that differs him from Steve. Steve, he has a way with doing speeches and everything like that, but Sam is a communicator. He's more of like a therapist. But while I'm watching him do the speech, I'm getting inspired, but the main argument of the government officials were that you don't know what you're talking about. And then Sam is just providing facts after facts after facts that makes him look good. But the government officials that were doing this stuff, why are you doing this stuff? It wasn't enough context to their support. There was no factual evidence behind their claims. So it just went off as the government officials knew nothing, and just this black man with red, white, and blue stripes, to me at least, it felt like he knew everything. And I was fine with that, because as a black man, I love that. I love the fact that they did that speech. It was great. If you keep doing stuff like this, if you keep calling them terrorists, thugs, or anything like that, you're gonna make more Carlys. I love that. But the government officials that were doing it didn't even have any evidence to back their claim. So this is not on Sam, really. It's kind of on the government officials, because all they kept saying is that you don't understand what you're saying. And every time they said that, Sam was saying something that he understood about the situation. After that, the remaining Flag Smashers are being transported to the raft, and then like one of the guards says, "One world, one people." So it showed that he was a supporter of them. So I kind of like that little tease, because it made me feel like, okay, yeah, the Flag Smashers, they may be coming back. Nope, they get blown up. Like the whole entire fleet, the truck just gets blown up, and then we see inside of a car that is Zemo's Alfred. Like, is Marvel Alfred. It's Zemo's butler. And then we see Zemo in the raft. And then basically, yeah, Zemo wins. He gets the last laugh. And his butler handles the job. So then after all of that, we go to like the conclusions, the epilogues. John becomes U.S. agent. Yeah, like he said, it's the same suit, but just black. So we're going to see more of John, which I really do like. But I don't know how they're just going to like change up his arc now, because he had his redemption. I feel like if they wanted to make him U.S. agent, they should have just kept him evil. He should have ran after Carly. That would have been better. But I love what they did inside of this show for John. But I don't know how they're going to carry on this character of John Walker. Hopefully they have something great planned. And then after that, from the first episode, we've been waiting for Bucky to tell Yori, the old man from the first episode, about his son, about Bucky killing his son. And I love the confrontation, because easily the old man could have been like, "Bucky, I already know." Or he could have been like, "Bucky, I treat you as my son now." Or he could have been like, "I forgive you." No, they skipped all of that, which makes it a lot more verisimilitude as well, because Bucky killed this man's son. For years, this man didn't know who killed his son, and for I don't know how long, for months or weeks, he's been sitting next to the guy. He's been sitting next to the man that murdered his son. So then I love the fact that they just, sat down, Bucky told him, and he just left. There was no, "You are my son now." There was no, "I forgive you." Who would? I'm sitting next to you, drinking, having a good time next to you, and you killed my son. So I loved that aspect, that they just did not drag that out. It was perfectly fine the way it was, and it helped out for Bucky's character. And I thought this was the best scene inside of the episode. All that action and stuff like that, Carly dying, yeah, that's all cool. But Isaiah being honored at the museum, the show ends on that, and it is great. I loved it. Because, listen, Isaiah has been such a great, tragic character inside of the show, and he is the epitome, he is the symbol of what is wrong with America's past and history. He reminded us, his character reminded us about the tragedy that was America all the way back then, the tragedy that is America today. I thought that scene right there with Isaiah being honored at the museum was going to give a lot of people a lot of tears. And I almost teared up myself. So like I said, the show ends on that, and it ends on Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And I suspect we're going to get a season 2 out of this, which I really am excited to see. Now, upon this entire show, because before I watched the finale, I watched through all the episodes just like I did with WandaVision, and I found myself liking different moments. I found myself liking the structure, kinda, of it. I found myself loving the character moments. I found myself loving the action, but it just wasn't better than WandaVision. And I don't know if anybody else has the same opinion, but I found myself not really liking it as much as I did WandaVision. The speculation wasn't really there. The intrigue wasn't really there until episode 4. Literally 2 weeks later, the finale. So there wasn't a lot of dare for Falcon and the Winter Soldier, to me at least. So then we also get an end credit scene, and I've been suspecting that we were going to get an end credit scene at the end of the episode, at the end of the finale. And I wish we would have got an end credit scene for every episode, but that's fine. What the heck is going on with Sharon, though? I'm suspecting that she's going to be like an antagonist inside of Armor Wars with Don Cheadle, because she seems like, since she's been pardoned by the government now, she's going to be taking like some weapons or like some tech and like selling it or something like that, and War Machine may have to stop her. So I see that's how these shows are going to connect. But that is it for our episode breakdown. Let's just head right into the review. And the good thing that comes to mind here is that off the bat, this is a big difference from WandaVision. It did what we all expected from this type of show. The action was treated like it was on the big screen. The action is incredible inside of this series. The character moments are a lot better than the entirety of the series. Sam and Bucky's dynamic is so much fun to watch, as you see both of them on their own, having their own struggles and getting to step away from Steve Rogers' shadow. You have scenes like Sam and his sister not being able to get alone. You have Bucky going into therapy and telling his therapist, I'm free to do what? These are types of internal conflicts that I kind of like to see inside of shows like this, or inside of films like this, or just with the characters like this. I love to see those human sides. That's why I love Spider-Man 2 so much. I love the racial issues that are tackled inside of this show, and it wasn't like it was forced into the show. Sam is a character from Louisiana. He is a black man from the South, and automatically you're gonna have that racial baggage carry onto Sam the moment you bring him inside of the universe. And I like that a lot. I love the fact that they have the whole legacy of the Shield type of storyline running through it, because no one can replace Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers is Captain America, is Steve Rogers. And if episode 5 taught me anything, is that Steve Rogers is the only Captain America. I also love John Walker's and Isaiah Bradley's tragic stories, because it shows how messed up America was back then, using the mascot of Isaiah Bradley, and how messed up America is now using the mascot of John Walker. That bloody shield, that is America 2021. Isaiah Bradley, he is the epitome, he is the symbol of America back then, of how high the racial tension was. So I like the fact that they use these two characters to show very tragic, to show very personal stories, while also showing a more darker take on the entire MCU, as well as provide mascots and a little bit more verisimilitude to the real world. But the biggest thing here is that it's a common MCU show. I mean, this is what everybody expected going into it, a safe MCU property, and this is basically what it was. Going into WandaVision, a lot of people didn't understand what's going on here. Like, what is going on? It's a sitcom, but set inside of the MCU. Is this world real or not? And that was my intrigue to WandaVision. With this, I was excited for it. It was a safe bet, but it didn't really grasp my intrigue like that. With that being said, let's move right into the mixed. And the mixed thing that comes to mind here is that the Flag Smashers are not treated the best here. I mean, I love their motives, but Carly is a huge negative, to me at least, for this show, as she has really strong motives and really strong moments, but her character massively suffers, and she just comes off as a person who is doing a great thing. Like, her motives, they're great. I love her motives. But then in the next scene, she's tying up people, killing people, and going way too far. And to me, it felt like Carly just did not feel consistent from episode to episode. It didn't feel like she's fighting this cause, but she wants to do it peacefully, but people just see her as terrorists. But then in the next episode, she ties up people and kills them and owns up to that terrorist name and doesn't really try to change the perspective of everybody else because she's just going to keep killing people and killing people. And then in the next episode, she's crying about her friend who also was a terrorist who helped her out in those murders. She's crying about that friend, saying how many more people we have to lose to be citizens on this planet. That's a great line, but last episode you just killed a bunch of people who are innocent, by the way. Literally, they gave John Walker's victim, the Captain America fan, more character than Carly. That's not a good thing. With that being said, let's move right into the bad. And the bad thing that comes to mind here is that this show suffers from a lack of episodes, a lack of urgency, and a lack of intrigue. What I mean by that is you have 6 episodes, so there is gonna be some urgency. Like you can do a lot of urgency, a lot inside of these 6 episodes, but the urgency just wasn't there because every blue moon of an episode, literally 3 episodes out of the season, are just about seeing the dynamic of Sam and Bucky, which I do love. I love all of that. Seeing the dynamic of Sam, Bucky, and Zemo. I love all of that. Going to Madripoor, seeing Sharon Carter. All of that is great character moments. But as a story overall, the urgency is just not pushing the story forward. Literally, the episode before the season finale, there was no setup for our finale except for Bucky telling Sam that if Carly does anything else, call me. He's going back to New York to explain to Yori, and then Sam opens up the case. That's it. That's the only setup, really. And apart from a couple more lines of Carly taking the siege to the building, but there's really no urgency to keep the plot moving forward. It just felt like this show was trying to show the dynamic and the friendship forming of Bucky and Sam. Like I said, I do love that, but what about the story? The story suffers from that. And the lack of intrigue comes from the fact that all the way until episode 4, I felt like I didn't have to watch the next episode right away, because there was nothing at the end of each episode that made me go, now I have to watch the next episode like WandaVision did. Like I said, the intrigue is just not there. In conclusion, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a safe bet for the Marvel Cinematic Universe that really does something different with these characters. I love the dynamic between Bucky and Sam. I love the dynamic between Bucky, Sam, and Zemo. I thought Zemo was fantastic inside of this series. I love seeing the Dora Milaje come into play. I love the motives of the Flag Smashers. I think that their motives connected to the snap was just great writing on them. But when it comes to after understanding their motives, there's not much really there. Like I said before, the individual character moments inside of this show are great. Like, they're great, but the overall story structure is not the best, and their villain is not the best. John Walker and Isaiah Bradley's tragic stories perfectly portrays America back then and also today. I love the legacy of the S.H.I.E.L.D. storylines going in through there, and it perfectly shows why Steve Rogers was chosen to be Captain America. The show definitely suffers from a lack of episodes, but I gotta say, I pretty much enjoy it myself. I'm gonna give this an A+ and an 8 out of 10, and I will say stream it, but just know that the lack of episodes will hurt you. Alright guys, that is it for my review. Please note that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion, and you are free to comment down below what did you think of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier finale. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Please don't forget to check out that Twitter that's going to pop up on your screen right now. Don't forget to check out that Marvel playlist up above for everything Marvel related that I have on my channel, and I will see you all next time. Peace.